right? This is all we use. This is all we bring out. For what? For the building up of our nation of people in the name of the Most High and through Christ, right? And the brother, he brought out a great lesson because husband and wife, family, all these things, they make up our nation. This is what make up our nation of people. It's just not individuals and these things. The Lord say, you know, we're a nation of people, right? Get the second Ezra 14 to 13. Even the religious churches, they even talking about similar topic, how the women, they want to be the men nowadays. T.D. Jakes, he put out a lesson talking about you know, the way the system is set up. The women, they make more money than the man now and all these things, so they feel like they don't need a man in these things. And it breaks up the household, right? It breaks up the household. Read what you got. Get this on.
Second Ezra 14 and 13. Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people.
Right.
Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption.
These are the things that the Lord commands. So it's nice that these things come out. You know what I mean? Because the Lord say we got to set our house in order, right? We got to reprove our people, right? Read that one more time, Mark.
Now therefore set thine house in order, and
Right.
reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption.
And renounce corruption. This is what we need to do as a nation of people so that we could get back right with the Father. And part of that is getting our families right, getting our houses right, getting our people right, right? Because we came here as a nation of people, and we're going to be taken out of here as a nation of people, right? Read it from 16.
Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 16. For ye know how we have dwelt in the land of Egypt, and how we came through the nations which ye passed by. Right. And ye have seen their abominations, right, and their idols, wood and stone, silver and gold, which were among them. Right. Lest there should be among you man or woman, or family, or tribe, whose heart turneth away this day from the Lord our power, to go and serve the gods of these nations, lest should there be among you a root that beareth gall and wormwood.
So again, it's not an individual thing. It's a whole nation of people here that the Lord is trying to build out. You know, individual, yes, man, woman, children, family, tribe, nation. This is what the Lord is trying to build up, right? Read that one more time, Mark. The second Ezra is 14, 13.
Second Ezra 14 and 13. Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble,
Right.
and now renounce corruption.
This is what we need. The lesson I'm doing today, I'm talking about how the Lord is bringing down the rich and powerful people in the earth, right? But for us to even make it through that, it starts off with the household. It starts off with the individual. It starts off with the family. We got to get ourselves right, right? So the Lord could put us back together as a nation of people and deliver us out of this wicked kingdom, right? So pick it up. James 5 and 1. On this side, let me get Ecclesiastes 10 and 8. All these things go together. This Bible goes together, right?
James 5 and 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
Yeah, man. This is the time that we're living in now. It's a time to build up the family. It's a time to get right. This is not the time to just start, you know what I mean, going off into vanities or being too distracted by the wickedness that's in the earth. This is the time that we need to start paying attention, right, and pulling ourselves together, right? Read that verse again, Doc.
Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
Right? It's miseries that's about to come upon America, the so-called greatest and richest and most powerful nation in the earth, right? Read what you got. Read 10 and 8 on this side.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings,
Right.
injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
So understand, it's because of wickedness. It's because of lies, building the nation up on lies, building the nation up in blood, right? Building the nation up in corruption, stealing people's land, colonizing people's land. The Lord is saying because of these wicked things is what's going to cause a nation to fall. But to build up the household, to build up the family, to build up the individuals, to build up our nation in truth, this is what's going to let these things be translated unto us, right? Read the 10th verse.
This is verse 10. No, this is verse 9, excuse me. Why is earth and ashes proud?
No, read 10.
Verse 10. The physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die.
Yeah, but a lot of our people, we don't believe these things, right? We can't even see this thing that America could possibly fall and that this country could actually be destroyed and that the Lord is going to translate and give these things to our nation, our people, right? A lot of people, we can't even fathom these things, right? Jump down to 14.
This is verse 14. The Lord hath cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead.
Yeah, this is the Lord's plan. The earth is going to be given to the meek, right? The earth is going to be given to the meek. It's not always going to be the wicked that's going to rule it. It's not always going to be the strongest or the most wicked or the vilest people that's always going to have the authority and rule the earth. It's not always going to be like this, right? Read down.
The Lord hath plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place.
This is the Lord's plan. He's gonna pluck up the wicked nation because of their wickedness, because of their unrighteous dealing, and he's gonna plant the meek in their place. Right? Read down.
The Lord overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth.
And the history of these things are in the Bible. There's never been a kingdom that just ruled forever. There's never been any one kingdom throughout all history that just ruled forever and was never taken down. Yet today, our people, we believe in America more than we believe in the Lord. Like this kingdom is so powerful and it's so great that it's going to stand up forever. Right? Drop down to the 21st verse.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 25. Unto the servant that is wise,
21.
verse 21, the fear of the Lord goeth before the obtaining of authority,
Right.
but roughness and pride is the loosing thereof.
And we see that in America. America is a very proud nation. America is a very proud nation. They don't humble up to anybody. They don't take advice. They don't take counsels from any of these other nations. They go headstrong and do what they want to do, right? We see today they're all up in Russia's business, right? They're all up in China's business, right? Right? They're selling weapons to they want to sell weapons to Taiwan to fight against China and all these things, right? America's very proud, and they don't take any counsel. They're definitely not hearing the counsel that's in this Bible, right? Read this. Read 31.
This is verse 31. He that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? And he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty?
So this is the point here. The Lord is saying that these people that went through the fire, that went through the poverty, that went through the slavery, that went through all these things, and are able to keep their honor, and are able to keep the commandments and the laws and the statutes of the Most High, even in your poverty, even through adversity, even in the fire, you're able to hold on to the Lord. The Lord is saying, how much greater are you going to be when he give you the riches, right? Read that one more time.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 31. He that is honored in poverty,
Right.
how much more in riches?
Right.
And he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty?
Yeah, so the other side is for America. They're dishonorable with the riches, with the rule, with the authority. So the Lord's saying he's going to take these things from them, right? Read what you got, the Baruch 3:16.
Baruch 3:16. Where are the princes of the heathen become, and such as ruled the beast upon the earth?
Right.
They that had their pastime with the fowls of the air, and they that hoarded up silver and gold, wherein men trust,
Right.
and made no end of their getting.
So again, it's not a new thing. One nation being translated to another, or one kingdom falling, and the Lord rising up another nation. It's nothing new. The Lord is saying, where are these ancient kingdoms that Egypt and Greece and what you got the Byzantine? Where's all these kingdoms in past that had so much riches and that had so much gold and had so much power, that had these big great armies? Where are they now? Right? Read that again, Art.
Where are the princes of the heathen become, and such as ruled the beast upon the earth?
Right.
They that had their pastime with the fowls of the air, and they that hoarded up silver and gold, wherein men trust, and made no end of their getting.
See, that's the problem. As men, they trust in people just because of their riches. They trust in people just because of their power and their army, and they don't consider the Lord. They don't trust in the Lord, right? That's the problem. People are too carnal, right, and material, right? Read that one more time. I can read down.
Where are the princes of the heathen become, and such as rule the beast upon the earth? They that had their pastime with the fowls of the air, and they that hoarded up silver and gold, wherein men trust, and made no end of their getting. For they that wrought in silver, and were so careful, and whose works are unsearchable, they are vanished and gone down to the grave, and others are come up in their steads.
Yeah, the Lord is going to lift up honorable people. He's going to lift up the meek of the earth, the righteous of the earth. He's going to lift them up, and he's going to put them in their stead, right? It's going to be translated, right? Read what you got on this side, Art.
This is James chapter 1, verse 9. Let the brother of low degree rejoice in that he is exalted, but the rich in that he is made low.
Yeah, the rich is going to be made low. Why? Because majority of the people that's rich in the earth, how did they become rich? Or for the poor, right? Or for the blood of the poor, or for the labor of the poor, right? I saw this, I heard this clip on the radio, right? They was talking about this guy, Chris Brown. They said he's given up, he got some setup where you give him $1,000 and you can hang out with him. You could take pictures with him and stuff like that and pose and all that and take pictures with him. But you gotta give him $1,000. This guy, he's already rich. You know what I mean? He got all the money he need. Why do we need a poor, struggling brother that's a fan or whatever to come and give him even more money, right? But that's how the rich deal. They become rich or for the poor, right? Read that verse again, Art.
This,
We gotta get there.
this is James chapter 1, verse 10. Verse 9. Let the brother of low degree rejoice in that he is exalted, but the rich in that he is made low, because as the flower of the grass he shall pass away. For the sun is no sooner risen with a burning heat, but it withereth the grass, and the flower thereof falleth, and the grace of the fashion of it perisheth.
Yeah, the Lord's saying the man in the earth is no better than any kingdom, whatever, is no better than the grass of the field or the tree or these things that the Lord make. They have a point in time where they grow and they flourish, and then they got a point in time where the Lord take them out. Right? Read down to 11.
So also shall the rich man fade away in his ways.
Right.
Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
Yeah, it's still talking about like in Ecclesiasticus, that brother that's honorable in poverty, the brother and sister that's honorable, you know, being on the bottom and is able to keep their integrity, right? These are the people the Lord is going to lift up, right? Was that 11?
Yeah, that was 12.
Good. Read the line upon line one more time. On this side, give me
James 5 and 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments moth eat.
Yeah, man. These people, they built up their whole kingdom off of corruption, right? And off of lies and deception and these things, right? You got what? You got what? The Rockefellers. You got all these rich people. You got Johnson & Johnson. You got Procter & Gamble. You got Hilton. You got all these rich people. How did they become rich, right? They became rich off of the poor, right? Read what you got on this side.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 5.
Yep.
Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is powerliness, from such withdraw thyself.
And this is a deception that's in the earth too. It's a deception that's. This is a deception that's in the earth too. That you're blessed if you're rich, or you're righteous because you got a lot of possessions and all these things. This is what a lot of our people believe, and we look at the next person that got a lot in these things, and we think that the Lord is blessing them, but the Lord is saying you shouldn't think like that, right? Read that one more time.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6. But powerliness with contentment is great gain.
Read 5 again.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 5. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is powerliness, from such withdraw thyself.
Yeah, so the Lord said, don't run with what the world believes and what they think, and they think that even the churches and all these things, they see that the pastor pull up in the Rolls Royce, and he got the fancy Armani suit on and all these things, and they thinking that the Lord is blessing his brother, right? But that's not how the Lord bless women, and that's not how the Lord bless men in the earth, right? Read that one more time. I can read down.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 5. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is powerliness, From such withdraw thyself.
Yeah, so it's the complete opposite. The Lord's saying if you think like that, then it's a perverse thought. If you think like that, then you're destitute of the truth, right? To think that or honor or respect or lift up a brother or sister just because they got money in these things, right? Read down out.
But povertiness with contentment is great gain.
The Lord's saying this is great gain to have powerliness, to be righteous even in your poverty, to be righteous even in your adversity. The Lord is saying this is great gain more than any riches or paper money in these things, right? Read down.
For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out.
Yeah, and this is a common saying in the earth. We came into the earth with nothing and we're going to take nothing with us. So while you're in the earth, it's not just about building. Not saying you ain't supposed to get money, because money is a defense, right? But the Lord is saying you need to build up righteousness. You need to build up equity, righteous equity. So these things will fight for you even in death, right? Read on.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 7, verse 8. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
That's a blessing. If the Lord putting food and clothing on your table, if the Lord is giving you food and you got clothes on your back and all these things every day, the Lord's saying you should be content with those things. Those things that should be considered a blessing. People, they look over the little things, right? And they want to look for the big blessings and the riches in these things. But the Lord's saying this is righteous gain. And these things you should be content, right? Read down out.
But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
Yeah, but the brothers and sisters that do get that money and they do get that riches, most of them, they can't handle it. They take their head away from the Lord, right? Read down.
Which drown men in destruction and perdition.
Right? They get drowned, right? They get lost. And we see that amongst our people, the ones that do make it to that status to get rich, whether it's the Christian preacher that's making millions of dollars or whether it's the basketball player. They all go off, right? They all turn aside, right? Read down.
For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
Yeah, and most people, they screw that up. They say that money is the root of all evil. But it's not, because, again, you can't be in the earth and not have money, pay your bills and keep a roof over your head and these things. You need money. So it's not that money is the root of all evil. It's the love of money, right, where you putting those things over the Lord, right? You putting those things over keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. You want to go to work and get the overtime and all these things, right? That's when you start corrupting yourself, right? Read that again, Ak.
This is verse 7. Verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all things.
And think about that. Think about how heavy a statement that is. It says that the love of money
It's the root of all evil.
is the root of all evil. All evil, right? All evil. That's a very deep statement right there, that the love of money is the root of all evil. All the evil that's going on in the earth today, when you look back and you trace it, it all goes back to money, right? It all goes back to money. Even in relationships, some relationships are broken up over what? Just because of financing these things, right? The woman might be making more than the man, right? Right? The problem that's going on in Ukraine right now is about money, right? Russia they want to run their oil lines through there, but Ukraine want them to pay to do those things, right? So that's a profound statement that the root of all evil, it falls back to money, the love of money, right? Read that again, Art.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 6 and 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
Right.
But thou, O man of the Most High, flee these things, and follow after righteousness, powerliness, faith, love, patience, meekness.
Right. Because these are blessings too. People, they think blessings is just financial gain, getting gold and silver and all these things. But the Lord's saying to have these things are blessings, to be righteous, to have wisdom, to have happiness, to have love, to have peace, to have joy. The Lord say these are the main blessings you want to look for in life, right? Did you read down to 11?
Yes.
Read that verse one more time, Mark.
Verse 11. But thou, O man of the Most High, flee these things, and follow after righteousness, parlialiness, faith, love, patience, meekness. Fight the good fight of faith, lay hold on eternal life, whereunto thou art also called, and hast professed a good profession before many witnesses.
Praise the Lord, right? Pick it up on this side.
James 5 and 1. Go to now, ye rich men. Weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments moth eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as if it were fire.
Yeah, these things are going to be a witness against them, right? They're not going to get away with it. All the killing, you know what I mean? Because again, look at how America started, right? They killed off millions and millions of Native American Indians, right? They gave them smallpox and all these things and killed them, right? Then what they do next? Now they kill off millions and millions of slaves, you know what I mean? And then they became rich, right? And so, and the so-called greatest country in the world. But the Lord's saying all these unrighteous dealings, all these injuries, all this riches gotten by deceit, the Lord say these things is gonna destroy them, right? These things are gonna make them fall, right? Give me this. Ecclesiasticus 14.
Let me finish this verse.
Let me get that 3 to 5. Go ahead.
James 5 and 3. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days.
Yeah, they've heaped all these things together just to give it up to the righteous, right? They did all this wicked work to build up all this money, all these possessions, this whole kingdom, all these things, and the Lord's saying it's going to be translated to the righteous, right? Read what you got, Ak.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 14, verse 3. Riches are not comely for a niggard, and what should an envious man do with money?
Yeah, the Lord say these people, it's like a niggard is a person that's tight with their money. It's a person that don't want to give. You know what I mean? Right? And we see that amongst America. Some people are privileged. Some people get certain benefits. Some people get certain justice. You know what I mean? Whereas you see the people that's on the bottom, the Negroes, the Hispanics, and the Native Americans, we don't get those same privileges, right? We don't get those same benefits, right? Read down.
He that gathereth by defrauding his own soul gathereth for others that shall spend his goods riotously.
Yeah, and to defraud is to get money or to get riches by deception, by lies, and by trickery. This is how you build yourself up. The Lord say if this applies to any kingdom, again, because America is not the first kingdom in the earth. America is not the first world power. But any kingdom, if you look at the history even before America, this is how they all fall. They all fall because of the same reasons, right? Because of riches gotten by deceit, by injuries, by deception, by lies, right? One kingdom is translated to the next people, right? Read that again, Ak.
Verse 4. He that gathereth by defrauding his own soul gathereth for others.
They gather for others. Everything, all the blood money, all the corrupted money, all these things they gathering for people that's going to be more honorable, right? Read on.
He that gathereth by defrauding his own soul gathereth for others that shall spend his goods riotously.
Praise the Lord, right? Read what you got on this side.
You said 5, right?
That's good. That's cool.
Ecclesiastes 2 and 25.
24.
24. There is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. This also I saw, that it was from the hand of the Most High.
So understand, this is a blessing. This is a gift from the Most High that, like we brought out earlier, that you could eat every day. You got food. You got a roof over your head. You got peace. You know what I mean? You got wisdom. You got guidance. You got all these things. The Lord said these things are blessings. But a lot of us, we look at them as small things, right? And we take them for granted. But this comes from the hand of the Most High, right? Read that again.
There is nothing better for a man
The Lord says nothing better in the earth than for a man, right? Read on.
than that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor.
Right?
This also I saw, that it was from the hand of the Most High.
Read.
For who can eat, or who else can hasten hereunto more than I?
Yeah, this is King Solomon speaking. He's a king in all these things, and he's like, who could eat better than me, or who could hasten better than I? Right? Read down.
For the Most High giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom and knowledge and joy, but to the sinner he giveth travail to gather and to heap up, that he may give to him that is good before the Most High.
This is how the Lord set it up. He said all the stuff they gather up, all the possessions, all the gold, all the silver, all these things that they're putting together just to give it up in the last days. Right? Read that one more time.
For the Most High giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom and knowledge and joy, but to the sinner he giveth travail to gather and to heap up that he may give to him that is good before the Most High. This also is vanity and vexation of spirit.
Yeah, it's a vanity and a vexation of spirit. It could make a person mad, right? It could make a person vex and all these things, right? But that's to the wicked, right? Because all the things they gather up wickedly and all that, all their riches, all their treasures, the kingdom, right? The Lord is saying He's going to give that to the righteous, right? Read the line upon line one more time. The 5 and 3.
James 5 and 3. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days.
They've heaped treasures together for the last days, right? Read what you got on this side.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 14.
Down to 25.
Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord.
All these things come from the Lord. Poverty, riches, adversity, right? Good days, bad days, all these things come from the Lord, right? And they make you appreciate the other, right? Because all the works of the Most High are two and two, one against another. And one thing make you appreciate the other one, right? So if you grew up in poverty and all these things, and you were able to pull yourself out of it, you appreciate the money more. You know what I mean? You appreciate those good days better, right? Read that again, Ak.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches
Right.
come of the Lord.
These all come from the Lord, right? Read down.
Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of the Lord. Love and the way of good works are from him.
Yeah, these things are blessings, but again, our people, we look over the small blessings, and we want more than we can handle sometimes, right? We want more than what we need sometimes, right? But these things are blessings, right? The things that we think are small things, right? Read on.
Error and darkness had their beginning together with sinners, and evil shall wax old with them that glory therein.
Yeah, so the Lord, He's not taking credit for the error and for the darkness. The Lord say those things, it began with sinners. The error is what? You always wrong. You always making mistakes. You're always off, right? The darkness, right? Same zone. You're never going the right way. You know what I mean? You blocked off from the truth, right? The Lord say all these things had the beginning with brothers and sisters that turned away from the Lord's statutes and commandments of the Most High, right? Read that verse again, Ak.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 16. Error and darkness had their beginning together with sinners,
Right.
and evil shall wax old with them that glory therein.
The Lord say these things are going to wax old. The sin, the evil, the magnifying a wicked man in the earth. You know what I mean? Magnifying a guy just because he got a lot of money. The Lord say all these things are going to wax old. These things are going to be, they're going to be played out. They're not going to be lifted up in the earth anymore, right? The just, the righteous, you know what I mean? The wise. These people are going to be lifted up in the earth. The meek, right? Read down.
The gift of the Lord remaineth with the powerly, and his favor bringeth prosperity forever.
Yeah, this is the true prosperity, right? That's coming from the Most High, and not the gold and the silver and the paper and all these things, right? And those things, they don't even truly have any value. Those things have the value that man place upon it. Why that paper is worth $20 or this paper is worth $100. It's a man that put that value on it, right? Read down.
There is that waxeth rich by his weariness and pinching,
Right.
and this is the portion of his reward.
Yeah, there's some people like this in the earth that they become rich by weariness, by working hard, doing all the overtime, saving up their money, and their portion, their reward is that they got a big bank account, right? Read down.
Whereas he saith, I have found rest, and now will eat continually of my goods. And yet he knoweth not what time shall come upon him, and that he must leave those things to others and die.
So this is why you don't want to have that carnal mindset. Like that's all it is. That's why you're on the earth is just to pinch and to work and to save your money, because the Lord could take those things from you at any time. So again, while we're in the earth, what we want to do. We want to reprove our people. We want to put our families together. We want to put our households together. We want to put our nation together, right? So that the Lord could bless us, right? So that His kingdom could be established in the earth, right? It's not the reason why you're in the earth is not just to pinch and to save up paper and to save up gold and all these things, right? This is not the reason why the Lord put us in the earth, right? Read down.
This is verse 20. Be steadfast in thy covenant, and be conversant therein, and wax old in thy work.
Yeah, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. This is what you should be doing with your time in the earth. Be steadfast in your covenant. The Lord, He made a covenant with our people, right? The Lord, He gave us promises, right? And He gave us prophecies, and all these things are starting to play out today. 2022, we see a lot of these things starting to move in the earth. And the Lord is saying, stay steadfast in these things. Don't leave off from His covenant and start believing in money, right? Don't leave off from His covenant and start just living in pleasure and all these things and deny the Lord, right? The Lord say we want to stay steadfast in these things, and we want to wax old in these things, right? Read down.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 21. Marvel not at the work of sinners, but trust in the Lord, and abide in thy labor, for it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make a poor man rich.
Yeah, so marvel not in the works of sinners. Because most of our people, we do this, right? We get blown away from the celebrities. We turn on the TV, we want to watch these actors. Every single day, this is what we do. We marvel, and we're blown away by their popularity and all these things. But the Lord say, marvel not at the work of sinners, but trust in the Lord, right? Some people, they marvel and they blown too much away by sinners, and then they start trusting in them, right? It might be a dude selling drugs and these things, and he pulling up in a big-time BMW and all these things. Some people, they get blown away by that, and then they start trusting in those things. They say, maybe I should sell drugs too. You know what I mean? And then they fall to that sinner lifestyle, you know what I mean? But the Lord say, don't marvel at those things. Don't marvel at what sinners do. Marvel in the works of the Lord. Marvel at the things the Lord do, right? The Lord got it. It's over 100 degrees out there today, right? Like 90-something plus degrees, right? Marvel at the things the Lord do, right? It's like 90-something degrees outside, humidity and all these things. The Lord say, marvel at Him. Don't marvel at the works of the wicked, right? Read down, Ak.
This is verse 22. The blessing of the Lord is in the reward of the poverly, and suddenly He maketh His blessing to flourish.
Right.
Say not, what profit is there of my service, and what good thing shall I have hereafter?
So this is the problem again. 91 degrees, right? Yeah, marvel at that. Marvel at what the Lord could do. The Lord could make it 91 degrees outside, and in the next, 6 months or so, He could freeze everything up and ice everything over, right? Right? Marvel at the works of the Lord. Don't marvel at the works of man, right? Read that 23 again.
Again, say not, I have enough and possess many things.
23.
This is verse 23, sorry. Say not, what profit is there of my service, and what good things shall I have hereafter?
Yeah, this is the next reason why a lot of people, they turn away from this word. Again, because they feel like if you come to the Bible, if you serve the Lord, they feel like you're going to be blessed with riches, right? And blessed with money and these things, right? But the Lord, and then they say, what profit? Why should I keep the Sabbath day? I'd rather be at work making money in these things. You know what I mean? Why should I separate that time? Why should I come here on Wednesday in these things and seek out the Lord? What am I going to get for it? What financial gain am I going to get from serving the Lord, right? A lot of people think like this in the earth, right? And the Lord say the brothers and sisters that think like this got perverse minds and all these things, right? And they're trusting in the wrong things, right? Read that 23 again, Ak.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 23. Say not, what profit is there of my service, and what good thing shall I have hereafter?
Right.
Again, say not, I have enough and possess many things, and what evil can come to me hereafter?
Yeah, so this is how the rich think. They think just because they got all these possessions, this is how America think. Just because I got all these riches, I done colonized half of the world, you know what I mean? I got the biggest army and all these things. They feel like nobody could touch them, right? They feel like they just going to reign forever, right? Read down.
Verse 25, in the day of prosperity there is a forgetfulness of affliction.
That quick, as soon as the affliction come, you forget about when times was good. You forget about when you had all that money saved up and stacked up. It could switch in one day, right? Read on.
In the day of prosperity there is a forgetfulness of affliction, and in the day of affliction there is no remembrance of prosperity.
Yeah, and the other way around. When you're in poverty, you can't. It's like you can't even remember or even reminisce on how when things was doing good, right? So in the day of prosperity, there's a forgetfulness of affliction, and in the day of affliction, there is no remembrance of prosperity, right? Come back to the line upon line. What you holding? Nothing, right? Read James 5, right? Read it 1 to 3.
James 5 and 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments moth eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days.
Yeah, America's heaped up treasures together for the last days, right? Read what you got, Art.
This is Job chapter 27, verse 16. Though he heap up silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on.
The Lord's saying the just is going to put these things on, right? The just is going to put these things on. Don't think that these things are far-fetched or that these things are never going to happen. The Lord's saying all the things that the wicked is building up, they're building up for the last days, right? Read on.
This is Job chapter 27, verse 17. He may prepare it, but the just,
Tell 'em where you
excuse me. Job chapter 27, verse 17.
Read 16 again.
Job chapter 27, verse 17, verse 16. Though he heap up silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. He buildeth his house as a moth, and as a booth that the keeper maketh. The rich man shall lie down, but he shall not be gathered. He openeth his eyes, and he is not.
Yeah, so again, don't trust in America. Don't trust in these riches, right? Just because they say they got the biggest army and all these things, and they got the most influence in the earth, don't love America. Don't live for America. Don't trust in America, right? Because the Lord say it soon come. All these things that they stacked up, the righteous is going to put them on, right? What you holding? The Proverbs? 13:21.
Proverbs 13 and 21. Evil pursueth sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid.
Yeah, the Lord say evil pursueth sinners. It's going to chase you down. It's going to find you. You like to kill people, somebody might kill you. You like to lie to people, somebody's going to end up lying to you. The Lord say evil is going to pursue, right? And it's going to chase down the sinners, right? Read that again, Art. 21, 22.
Evil pursueth sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid.
But to the righteous, right? Even the poor righteous, right? The one that don't got nothing. If you could stay honorable in your poverty, you could stay honorable in your adversity and all these things, the Lord say he's going to lift you up in the last days, right? He's going to lift you up in the end, right? What you holding, Art?
Verse 22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too many people that got it like that, where they got material wealth and all these things and inheritances to pass down to their children. You got some people, Mayweather, he's talking about generational wealth. That's what it's talking about here, generational wealth, to be able to have enough to pass down to the next generation. Those things have been destroyed from us and taken from us, right? Blood money and all these things. I heard on the news the other day, in the radio, it was a Negro that he had his family's land taken from him during the times of slavery or whatever in Manhattan. And just recently he won it back in some lawsuit or whatever. And that brother, he's doing good. He got some prime land in Manhattan, so you might as well say that brother, he's going to be rich now. But the point is, the majority of our people, we don't have that inheritance to pass down because all those things was robbed from us, right? Read those two verses again.
Evil pursueth sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid.
Right.
A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just.
Yeah, the wealth of the sinners is going to be laid up for the just. Read the line upon line. Read 1 to 3. On this side, let me get, matter of fact, read 1 down to 4. Let me get Ecclesiasticus 4.
James 5 and 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments moth eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you,
Right.
and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last
Yeah,
days.
they heaped up all these treasures together for the last day. Was that 3?
Yes.
Read 4.
Behold, the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabbath.
Yeah, the Lord is saying from generation to generation, all the criers, all the blood of the righteous, all the saints that died, and all these things. The Lord is saying their blood is crying up out of the earth, the prayers of the poor, right, and the afflicted. All these cries and all these prayers that they're going up into the ear of the Lord, right? Read that again, Ak.
Behold, the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields,
Right.
which is of you kept back by fraud,
They keep these
crieth.
things back. They don't give us our just due, right? They hold us down in all these things, right? Read it again, Ak.
Behold, the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth. And the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabbath.
Yeah, the Most High is starting to hear our cries, right? The cries of the saints, of the poor, right, and the afflicted in the earth, right? Read what you got, Ak. The Ecclesiasticus 4:1-6.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 4, verse 1. My son, defraud not the poor of the living, excuse me, of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long. Make not an hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress. Add not more trouble to an heart that is vexed,
Right.
and defer not to give to him that is in need.
Right? This is commandments the Lord gave us to run our kingdom, to run our nation, right? That'll lift us up, right? As kings and queens in these things. But to go against these things, right, is going to cause your kingdom to fall, right? Read it again, Ak.
This is verse 3. Add not. You want to read from the top? This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 4 and 1. My son, defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long.
Yeah, but these things happen every day here in America. They defraud the poor. They don't give you your just due, right? A guy stand up all day, sweat and work on all these things, and they give you minimum wage and all these things, right? Read down.
Make not an hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress.
Yeah,
And-
we're already down and they kicking us, right? The Lord say don't provoke a poor person in his distress. We're already down, but they continually do these things to provoke us, right? To belittle us, right? To destroy us, right? Read down.
Add not more trouble to an heart that is vexed, and defer not to give to him that is in need.
Right.
Reject not the supplication of the afflicted, neither turn away thy face from a poor man. Turn not away thine eye from the needy, and give him none occasion to curse thee.
Right.
For if he curse thee in the bitterness of his soul, his prayer shall be heard of him that made him.
Yeah, and that's our hope. That's our desire. That because of all the defraud that's happening to us, to all the injustice that's happening to us, our prayer and our hope is that the Lord is going to hear our cries. That our cries are going to reach the ears of the Most High, right? And the Most High is going to stir some things up in the earth. He's going to translate some things, right? He's going to make some changes in the earth, right? Read what you got, Ak.
Ecclesiasticus 13 and 16. All flesh consorteth according to kind,
Right.
and a man will cleave to his like.
Straight up and down. That's just how it is. For the most part, Negroes, they're going to get along with Negroes. Hispanics is going to get along with Hispanics. White people is going to get along with white people, right? For the most part, right? Read on.
What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the powerly?
Yeah, the wolf and the lamb, they don't get along. And the Lord's saying that the poor and the rich, they don't get along, right? Read that again. Ak.
What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb,
Right.
so the sinner with the powerly?
It's no love between the two, right? Read down.
What agreement is there between the hyena and a dog?
Right.
And what peace between the rich and the poor?
There's no peace between the rich and the poor. Again, the rich hate the poor, right? Even though the majority of people that's rich, they get rich off of the backs of the poor, right? Read down.
As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor.
They eat us up. Every day they eat us up, right? Read down.
As the proud hate humility, so doth the rich abhor the poor.
Yeah, the proud, they hate humility. Again, like America. America's a proud nation. They don't want to take any counsel. They do what they want to do. They go to war when they want to go to war, right? And the Lord is going to bring them down for their pride, right? Read down.
A rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends,
Right.
but a poor man being down is thrust also away by his friends.
Yeah, when a rich man falls down, he got a lot of people to help him out, right? You got this guy Trump. They talking about January 6th, how he had an insurrection on the White House and all these things. And he got all these people that's fighting for him and that's standing up for him in court and all these things. But if it was a poor Negro in these things, right, we would be falling and they kick you down while you falling too, right? They probably lock you up, right? Read that verse again out.
As the
Manhattan Beach.
California, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay, brother corrected me about the brother with the inheritance that he fought for in court and got it back. It was Manhattan Beach, California. I was thinking it was Manhattan in New York. But that's even nice too, some beach property, right? Very valuable, right? Read that again out.
Ecclesiasticus 13 and 19. As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor.
This is just how it is in the earth. And it's been like this for a long time. The rich eat up the poor. The rich and the poor, they have nothing to do with each other. But again, the Lord is going to fight for the just, the meek, and the poor and all these things, right? Read down.
A rich man beginning to fall, as the proud hate humility, so doth the rich abhor the poor.
Right.
A rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends, but a poor man being down is thrust also away by his friends.
Yeah, the rich people, they get helped by other rich people. The poor, when he falls, they kick you too on your way down, right? Read on.
When a rich man is fallen, he hath many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken, and yet men justify him. The poor man slipped, and yet they rebuked him too.
Good, good. Let me get on this side. Let me get this. Let me get Psalms 9, right? Let me get 11 to 20. Where you was at over here?
Where?
What verse you at?
22.
Go ahead. Read two more verses. On this side.
When a rich man is fallen, he hath many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken, and yet men justify him.
Right.
The poor man slipped, and yet they rebuked him too. He spake wisely, and could have no place.
Right.
When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds.
Right.
But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him.
Yeah, that's just the state of the earth, man. The rich, they get lifted up. The poor, they get pushed down. Right? Read what you got out on this side.
This is Psalms chapter 9, verse 11. Sing praises to the Lord, which dwelleth in Zion. Declare among the people his doings.
Right.
When he maketh inquisition for blood, he remembereth them. He forgetteth not the cry of the humble.
Yeah, so America's not going to get away with it. Even though it's been over 400 years, they've been a world power and all these things. The Lord is saying they're not going to get away with it. The Lord said he's going to make inquisition, right? They're going to be judged, right, for all their injustice. Right? Read on.
Have mercy upon me, O Lord. Consider my trouble, which I suffer of them that hate me.
And again, this is the prayer of the nation of Israel. We want the Lord to have mercy upon us and to deliver us out of the hands of the wicked. Right? Read on.
Thou that liftest me up from the gates of death,
Right?
that I may show forth all thy praise in the gates of the daughter of Zion.
Right.
I will rejoice in thy salvation.
Right?
The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made.
Right?
In that net which they hid is their own foot taken.
Straight up and down. A lot of traps, a lot of plans they got to keep us down and all these things. The Lord said they're going to fall into all their own traps. Right? They're going to fall into all the pits that they dug for the righteous. Right? Read down.
The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth.
Praise the Lord. That's how we know the Lord is real. That's how we know that the Lord is on the scene, that his spirit is in the earth, because he's known by the judgments that he do. And all the ways of the Most High are judgment. Right? Read on.
The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion, Selah. The wicked Higgaion, Selah.
3.
The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget the Most High. For the needy shall not always be forgotten.
The needy is not always going to be forgotten, right? The poor righteous brother and the poor righteous sister in the earth is not always going to be forgotten. It's not always going to be on the bottom, right? It's not going to always be desolate. It's not going to always be like this, the way that the earth is set up today, right? Read on.
The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget the Most High. For the needy shall not always be forgotten. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever.
Yeah, man, our expectation is not going to perish, but the Lord is going to give us these things, right? He's going to give us our own kingdom. He's going to put us back in our own land, right? And we're going to rule amongst our own people, right? Read down.
Arise, O Lord, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Lord, that the nations may know themselves to be but men.
Yeah, they need to be humbled up. America need to be humbled up, and his Lord is the one that's going to do it, right? Was that 20? Good. Read what you got on this side.
Ecclesiasticus 35 and 13. He will not accept any person against a poor man, but will hear the prayer of the oppressed.
Right? The Lord said he's going to hear the prayer. He's going to hear the cries, right? He's going to see the blood and all these things of the oppressed, and he's going to hear them, right? Read on.
He will not despise the supplication of the fatherless,
Right.
nor the widow when she poureth out her complaint.
Yeah, man. And a lot of people in our nation is like this, where we're fatherless, one parent family and all these things, right? And we're crying out, we're doing bad, we're poor in the earth and all these things. We're seeking out the Lord. The Lord say he's going to hear you, right? Read on.
Doeth not the tears run down the widow's cheeks, and is not her cry against him that causeth them to fall?
Yeah, man. It's the wicked that's oppressing us and that's causing us to cry out and that's causing us to fall, right? Read on.
He that serveth the Lord shall be accepted with favor, and his prayer shall reach unto the clouds.
Yeah, but you got to serve the Lord. You got to do as well. You got to get your household in order. We got to reprove our people. We got to build up our nation so that these things can play out, right? Read on.
The prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds, until it come nigh he will not be comforted, and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment.
Yeah, we're not going to be comforted. We're not going to be at peace. We're never going to have like civil rights and all these things here in America until the Lord bring these things to pass, until the Lord come and comfort us, right? Read that verse again.
The prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds.
Right.
Until it come nigh, he will not be comforted,
Right.
and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment.
Praise the Lord. Tell them where you at.
Ecclesiasticus 35 and 18. For the Lord will not be slack, neither will the mighty be patient towards them,
Right.
till he hath smitten in sunder the loins of the unmerciful, and repaid vengeance to the heathen, till he have taken away the multitude of the proud, and broken the scepter of unrighteousness.
And again, I know my people, I know it's hard to see these things because the state of the world, the power that the so-called white man got right now, how we're on the bottom being beaten down. But the Lord said he's going to bring these things to pass, right? What you holding out? Read the line upon line one more time, 5 and 4. Give me this, Deuteronomy 24, 14 to 15.
James 5 and 4. Behold, the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth.
Yeah, these things cry out to the Lord. These things are testifying against them, right? Read on.
And the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth.
Good. Get me to Job 34, 24 to 30. Give me Job 34, 24 to 30. Read what you got out.
Deuteronomy 24:14. This is Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 14. Thou shalt not oppress an hired servant that is poor and needy,
Right.
whether he be of thy brethren or of thy strangers that are in thy land within thy gates.
Yeah, these are the commandments that the Lord gave us to govern our people, to govern our land, and all these things. But here today in America, these things are broken every day. These things are not even considered, right? The poor are just being stepped on, right? Read on.
At his day thou shalt give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor, and setteth his heart upon it, lest he cry against thee unto the Lord, and it be sin unto thee.
The Lord is going to hear the prayers and the cries of the poor. Just give a brother or sister if a brother or sister work for it, just give it to them. Give them what they work for. That's what the Lord say. The Lord say that's justice. The Lord say that's right. But every day, people want to defraud somebody. Somebody want to try and get over on somebody and all that. The Lord say you can't muzzle the ox that treadeth the corn. Give a brother or sister their just due. Right? This is how the Lord set it up. Right? Read what you got.
Job 34:23. For he will not lay upon man more than right.
The Lord is not going to lay upon man what's more than right. Right? He's not going to put you in a position that you can't get out of. He's not going to tempt you in a situation where you're not going to be able to escape. Right? Read on.
Excuse me. For he will not lay upon man more than right, that he should enter into judgment with the Most High.
Yeah, because if the Lord was to do that, then a man would stand up and be like, Lord, you're doing me unjust. You're going to try and enter into judgment with the Most High because you feel like the Most High is doing you wrong, right? But the Most High, all his ways is justice, right? So it would never come to that, right? Read on.
He shall break in pieces mighty men without number, and set others in their stead.
Yeah, man. But people don't believe this. It's not the hands of man that's going to do these things. It's the Lord that's going to break up the mighty and is going to put the just in their stead, right? Read down.
Therefore he knoweth their works, and he overturneth them in the night, so that they are destroyed. He striketh them as wicked men in the open sight of others.
The Lord say he overturneth them in the night. According to these scriptures, America has been around for 400, pushing 500 years, but when it's destroyed, it's only going to be in 1 hour, right? Read down.
Because he striketh them as wicked men in the open sight of others, because they turned back from him and would not consider any of his ways.
Yeah, man. In America's their point that they passed that point where they could repent, like Nineveh and all these things, and say that they was wrong, and say that they lied, and say that they took the people of the Lord in captivity. They passed that point. There's no turning back, right? America's going to be judged, right? Read down to 20.
Just Job 34:28. So that they cause the cry of the poor to come unto him,
Right.
and he heareth the cry of the afflicted.
Right,
When he giveth quietness, who then can make trouble?
right.
And when he hideth his face, who then can behold him? Whether it be done against a nation or against a man only.
So understand, it's the Lord that's making these things happen. Us, the part that we got to do is we got to keep his laws, keep his statutes, keep his commandments, keep our integrity, even in poverty, right? Keep our morals and all these things so that the Lord can push these things forward, right? Read what you got on this side out. 35 and 9.
This is Job chapter 35, verse 9. By reason of the multitude of oppressions, they make the oppressed to cry.
Yeah, man, they make us cry out every day because of the oppression, the constant racism, the constant our people getting shot, right? It causes our people to cry out. The problem with our people is we're not crying to the Lord, right? Read on.
By reason of the
Yeah, read it.
By reason of the multitude of the oppressions, they make the oppressed to cry. They cry out by reason of the arm of the mighty.
Right.
But none saith, where is the power, my maker, who giveth songs in the night?
So this is the problem. We are oppressed. We are crying out, but our people are crying out in the wrong ways, right? We're crying out for civil justice. We want to go march on the lawn in D.C. and Washington and all that. We are being oppressed, or we are crying out. The thing is, we need to cry out to the Lord, right? Read down.
But none saith, where is the Most High, my maker, who giveth songs in the night, who teacheth us more than the beasts of the earth, and maketh us wiser than the fowls of heaven.
Right.
There they cry, but none giveth answer, because of the pride of evil men.
Yeah, man. Our people are crying out, but we don't have any answers, right? We're looking to the Creflo Dollars. We're looking to the T.D. Jakes, right? These guys have been around since, the 80s, right? And nothing has changed. We're still being oppressed. We're still in poverty. We're still crying out, right? So the thing that we need to do is to turn back to the Lord, right? To turn back to his laws, his statutes, and commandments. All those other things, they're not working. And we prove that they haven't been working, right? Read on.
Surely the Most High will not hear vanity,
Right.
neither will the Almighty regard it. Although thou sayest thou shalt not see him,
Right.
yet judgment is before him,
Right.
therefore trust thou in him.
Right.
But now, because it is not so, he hath visited in his anger, yet he knoweth it not in great extremity.
Right.
Therefore doeth Job open his mouth in vain. He multiplieth words without knowledge.
Right? Come back. Read the line upon line one more time.
Job 5 and 4.
James 5 and 4.
James 5 and 4. Behold, the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth.
So understand, America is not going to get away with it. The Lord is not going to leave us hanging as a nation of people, right? The blood of our ancestors are crying out of the ground. The brothers and sisters in the earth today, they're crying out to the Lord, right? And as long as we keep ourselves right with the Lord is going to hear our prayers. Brothers united in Christ, Shalom.